Okay. So we've got a new roadmap roundup. 3.20 goes live today. Now, in my mind, that should mean that we get to see what 3.21 is bringing to the game, because we're supposed to have, I think, 1 to 2 quarters ahead in the roadmap. I can't remember if they officially wanted it to be just 2 quarters ahead, but when it started with the new roadmap sort of timeline, we saw 2 quarters ahead. That has decreased to 1, and now technically with 3.20 out and live today, if there's no 3.21 on the roadmap, that means that we have 0 visibility. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't think this has ever been true before. I don't think you've ever been able to look at what's going on with the roadmap and see every single one of these say released with nothing else on the back end of the roadmap. And it's indicative. I'll say that. So let's check out the roadmap roundup. It sounds like it's got some interesting news for at least the interim updates between 320 and 321. So, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Good hump day. Every 2 weeks, we accompany the roadmap update with a brief explanatory note to give you insight into the decision making. We all know this stuff. Notable changes on the release view. The following cards have been added to the release view 3.20, targeting a launch with Alpha 3.20.x. We got the Argo SRV. Solid look. That's pretty cool. And honestly, kind of makes some sense. We've got vehicle tractor beams, which are, of course, going to come with the Argo SRV. So that's interesting. But considering this doesn't include any gameplay cards surrounding missions or surrounding cargo changes that are related to this, I'm going to imagine this might not expand our functionality too much. But it will be cool to be able to drag like ships and vehicles around with the tractor beam. Mineable asteroids should also be interactable. Derelicts should be interactable. Large boxes, all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. Just having the Argo SRV doesn't tell us very much compared to what the Argo SRV's gameplay means. It's cool that the release view is showing the SRV coming at some point in 3.20.x, but it doesn't really tell us much about what that means for gameplay. So I'm excited for it, but we'll see. On the progress tracker, we have Origin G12 being added as a game-ready vehicle. That might be a little bit validating. Okay, I won't say predicting. I have been interpreting. Is that even a word? That doesn't sound right. I have been thinking that what they've been showing on their monthly reports, I believe it was in July. Elsewhere, another all-new vehicle started work alongside its variants. Seeing as this is all new but not unannounced, and it's listed as a vehicle rather than a ship, I hope beyond hopes this is the Origin G12 entering production. Tasks were started for an all-new vehicle, right? So not unannounced, just all-new vehicle, not ship. And then they mentioned that they are planning out the work required for the base and its variants. For me, that basically meant that we were getting a vehicle, a ground vehicle that was already known but not yet worked on. It's in concept and it has variants. The only one I could think of was either the Ranger, which was a 2-wheeled vehicle, they're not working on that, or the G12. And it looks like now, as we're seeing from the progress tracker, it very well might have been the G12, and we might get it at the end of the year. So there's your roadmap update so far. SRV is certainly exciting. G12, it's good to see another old vehicle being worked on, another ground vehicle. It won't change the game, but it's another one off the backlog, and probably the most important thing introduced from that year that it was introduced to be off the backlog, because it just made sense for it to be in. So SRV, G12, vehicle tractor beams, all good things I was expecting to see this year. Maybe not the G12, but definitely the tractor beams and SRV. So I'm glad they're there. We will continue to watch their campaigns eagerly with interest and see how the gameplay ends up looking for 3.20.x. Thanks for coming. See y'all in the next one.